Well, okay, I'm Tommy Puckett. I started here in 1985, actually. So this is technically, I guess, my 39th year. So I'm not quite 40 like these old guys that you're going to be interviewing. So I'm the young guy. But yeah, started in 85 and didn't intend to make this a career. I didn't know. I just left Louisiana and came up here for a job. A friend of mine kind of got me the job up here who came up here. And he since went home after a couple of years. So he's been back to Louisiana. And I've been here pretty much ever since. So I've never heard of Pella. I didn't know anything about windows and doors or construction business at all. But like I said, my friend who had a construction degree graduated from Northeast Louisiana University as I did. And he came up here and went to work for the construction company that the original owner had. He had a drywall business and he also had the Pella business. And within 6 months, he was just looking for someone. And my friend said, I know a guy that's looking for a job. I said, yeah, I'll come up there and talk to him. Well, I pretty much had the job before I got here, it seems like. And I didn't have a clue what I was going to be doing. Just said, yeah, I'm ready to go to work. Well, I've always been in sales, and that's pretty much all the job is. When I was in Louisiana, I had my own, I say I had my own store, but I was a satellite branch, as you call it. So I was kind of in charge of what went on in that little store in that area. And then when I went to Springdale, which is where the office was then, they kind of had some things going on. So I was kind of in charge of that store for that short period. But that was not really what I wanted to do forever. So when I came back here, I just went right back to just plain sales. I wasn't in charge of the store or anything like that. So, and that's probably fits my personality better. I wasn't looking to move up the chain and be a manager or do anything. I really like what I do. I like dealing with people, homeowners, things like that. And that's kind of what I'm good at. So, no, it's pretty much been the same job this whole time. The process has changed and things like that, but ultimately it's the same thing. You're dealing with people, and that's what I really like about it. You meet different people all the time, and that's kind of cool. The product line for Pella really changed. It was really basic back when I started. We had a unique product, just the way the product was made and the way they had a removable glass panel. And that insulating factor was far and above beyond the competition. But things changed, and that kind of became out of date. And I think fortunately Pella had some new generation people come into the corporate that saw the need to change that product. And so other products came out, and then they kind of became an innovator. I think back then they were just kind of happy with what they had. I think it was great that we came on with new products. So now the changes over time has just been tremendous. I've always said if I was a new salesperson starting today, it's kind of difficult to grasp the broadness of our product. And I know what I know from way back then, and they don't even know what we had back then. But to learn it back then wasn't that difficult because it was pretty simple product line. But from then till now, tremendous change, tremendous additions, and I've been fortunate just to build on that year after year after year, and I don't have to learn it all at once. Like these new guys come in, I'll start explaining things to them because that's kind of what I do. I kind of like to help these young people, and sometimes I realize, man, you're telling them too much. Their head's going to explode. You got to slow down and just give them a little bit at a time and let them build on it. But no, the changes in the product. The products are awesome. They've always been great, but all the features we have now are tremendous, and it's fun to show them to people because they're going to be able to put this in their home. It's not just windows and doors like I think people think. Oh, windows and doors, just go to the store and buy them off the shelf. No, that's not how it works. That's why we have a job, because the product is so vast and unique, and all the attributes that we can offer. That's what kind of makes it fun for me. I sat around and listened to Mike Moore run his mouth for a couple of weeks. And honestly, the owner's son had a stroke. That's really the reason I was hired to come on. So Mike was kind of the only salesperson, and the current owner at the time had a heart attack. So he was at home when I was hired. So I came up here and just sat around for a week or so, and just listened to Mike. Really wasn't doing anything, just kind of learning. But they kind of came to me and said, "Hey, do you think you can just go ahead and start?" I said, "Yeah, just throw me in the fire." And so my training was I'm just going to figure this out. I can remember the first job site I went to, showed up at a job site, didn't really know what I was doing, but I had my catalog, and I had the sizes, and I just sat down with this guy, and I told him, look, this is my first deal, so bear with me. And I just learned as I went. And so it was probably good for me because it was like I didn't have a choice but to learn it and go with it. You either can do it or you can't, and I don't think they can teach you how. And honestly, I don't sell the way they tell you to sell. I wouldn't even be hired today based on the format they say you're supposed to go by, and the criteria you meet, your personality and all, I wouldn't even make the cut. But I've been here almost 40 years, so I'm doing something right. Yeah, possibly technology. I remember when we first went to computers. Okay, so we're showing our age again. We had a big thick price book, and then all of a sudden we're going to go to computers, and I'm like, okay, that's great. Well, after doing it on the computer for a while, I was like, I'm faster than that computer. I do this. I can get this book out, have this done a lot faster than this computer. So I was anti all that at first, but obviously as time's gone on, yeah, technology's great, computers are great, and I've tried not to be that old dinosaur that doesn't want to learn technology. So I'm not that great at it, but I've learned to use what is beneficial and will help me. And so, and some things I really couldn't do my job as well without technology. I was more, hey, just know what you're talking about, know the product, do what you say you're going to do, and I think people appreciate that. And a lot of my success has been referrals from people who've had good experience, and they come back to me, and I mean I'm selling people who their parents bought from me, and now I'm selling their kids. Our people are building their second house that I'm selling windows to their second, third time around. I don't know that's the lessons I've learned here. I think lessons I learned and was taught by my father growing up, and I just carried that through and used it in life and in work. For me, it's be prompt. Get a quote back to people. Answer their questions. Deal with it now. When I get phone calls or have a message if someone's got a problem, that's the first one I deal with that day. I'm like, I'm not putting that off. I'm gonna deal with it right now. So you just got to face it head on and deal with it right now. And then just do what you say. Be on time. I'm early, so early make sure I'm on time. Just things like that. I can remember the first big job I did as far as dollars. A $70,000 job today, still a nice job, but it's not like, oh wow, it's incredible, because we kind of do it all the time, it seems like now. But back in 1989 or 90 or whatever it was, I mean, I had a $70,000 job. It was just, I really couldn't grasp it. Like, who would spend that kind of money on windows and doors? So I'll never forget that job, because in today's world it'd probably be $250,000 job or whatever, I don't know. But I was kind of blown away that people would spend that much money on windows and doors. I'm still kind of amazed today, though, the way the world's going, the way prices are of everything. We're no exception. But when you have good products, you offer good services, people they'll put the money out there for something they feel there's value in. And that's what Pella is. It's a value product, value services. That's the $1 million question. My wife says no, because she's 5 years younger than me, and she's a school teacher, and she thinks she's going to retire in 5 years. So she says I cannot retire before her. My financial advisor says no. He says at least 10 more years. So I don't know. I really I do enjoy this job, but yeah, given the opportunity of working or not, sure, I'd rather be on the golf course. Well, it's been a good job for me. There's some flexibility in this job as being a salesman, and you're out some, and so you're not locked into the office all day long. There's really not that much travel. I've had opportunities to go and take maybe change careers for companies where I could have made a lot more money, but that required travel and being gone overnight, several nights or whatever. And I just balanced that with like, no, it's my home life with my son, who's grown now, and I have a grandson. I never missed a ball game other than when I took a 2-week little mission trip overseas, and missed a couple ball games. And other than that, I was there, and not just for him, just because I enjoyed it. I enjoyed being at the ballpark. That's what I like to do. And so wasn't gone from my wife because I wasn't traveling. So yeah, there's plenty of work to do here, but there's more fun things to do than work. And this job has allowed me to have it the way I would prefer. Some people set goals like, I want to climb the ladder and be the whatever and make all this money. My goals were find a company that I could work for. They treated you fairly, they paid you fairly. Your time was your time. Not that I don't mind putting in extra time when needed, because sometimes I am working 9, 10 o'clock at night because I got a lot going on. But that's not all the time. It's not routine. And So that was very important to me, is to uh, not be a workaholic, not work all the time. I'm not made that way, but I'll give you all that's due the company and plus some. When I was younger, I played basketball as much as I could, and I grew up playing baseball, and so then I moved into softball. I was actually playing softball as a teenager, and so I was playing softball until probably I was uh, 57 years. I'm 62 now, so about 3 4 years ago was probably my last of softball. So that's been my biggest hobby, was playing softball. I was coaching kids baseball back in Louisiana when I was in college, so I coached my son's team some here. So that's my main hobbies. I played golf off and on over the years, but now that I've transitioned to not really playing softball, I've kind of got back into playing golf. It was funny, we were having this discussion the other day. People talk about retiring, and someone said, well, you can't play golf every day, and I kind of agree with that. But I was thinking about it the other day. I'm like, why can't you play golf every day? You work every day. Been working every day since I was 15 years old, or going to school or doing something. I did that every day. So if I was retired, why can't you play every day? No, for someone looking for a place to work, this is going to be a great career for someone coming in young like I was back then. I think they could make a career out of it and do really well. A friend of mine, this was years ago, we were just having a discussion, whatever, just about work and all that kind of stuff. And he goes, Tommy, you are the only person I know who loves his job. And I'm like, oh, wow. Well, I do love my job. And I thought, that's kind of sad. I don't think it's true, but yeah, you look around, a lot of people are not happy with their job. And so when he said that, you're the only person I know that loves his job. I'm like, yeah, that's the way it ought to be. So I'm still here.